back to another episode of Beer Talk. I'm your host, Maalik Stark. And before we get into the episode today, I'd like to give a special thanks to the PLCB for making this show possible. And be sure to check out Cheers_PA on Instagram and Facebook, and check out our website for new episodes every other Thursday. And today we'll be sitting down with one of the head brewers from Levity Brewing, Brady Snyder. What's up, man?
How's it going?
It's going well. Yeah, like you said, you just want to sit down, talk about you and Levity itself.
Okay.
When did you start brewing?
Probably about 5.5 years ago now.
Okay, so you're a little bit of a vet.
Yeah, well, not too long, but a little bit of time.
Sweet, man. And was Levity the first place you brewed at?
Yep.
Sweet. Did you just come in?
Yeah, I started out in like helping out one of the owners in delivery and stuff like that, and then it transitioned into full-time production, and then probably 5 years ago it took off into just full-time brewing.
Okay. What were you doing before brewing?
I was at a water treatment facility, so I did like sampling of different wastewaters and stuff like that. So the chemical side of all that.
So that I know from my experience, water is, I would say, the most important thing when it comes to beer almost.
Yeah, definitely is. Yep.
Sweet. So I assume that's an easy transition for you?
Yeah, it was a lot of learning, just getting used to the different brewing side of stuff, but took time like everything else does. But yeah, you still learn. Every day you still learn new stuff.
Sweet, man. And with brewing for Levity, how did that, like you said that this is the only place you have brewed at?
Yeah.
Sweet. So whenever you started, like, what were some of those things like in the beginning as far as like you had to learn and get more comfortable with, because, you know, dealing with water, you've seen a lot of this stuff.
The biggest thing was probably getting used to the system and stuff like that, the big system and all the different procedures to get an actual brew day done. That was probably the learnest thing, because the cleaning aspect, you got your chemicals and stuff, and that's pretty easy to learn how to clean and stuff, but just the actual brewing procedure was probably the most time consuming and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you all have I assume a pretty big system, like 10 barrel? Or?
Yeah, we have a 10 barrel Abe and some 10 barrel fermenters, and we have some 20 barrel fermenters as well.
Okay, sweet. Do you remember what the first thing you brewed was?
Yeah, it would have been, back then we did an R&D series. We call it R&DX, and it was actually an R&D X5. It was like they gave me free reign on the whole recipe and everything. So I'm pretty sure I still have a can of it in the house somewhere, but it's probably terrible at this point, but I just wanted to keep a can of it.
Yeah. What is, you say R&D 5? What is that?
So R&D, we did like, it's kind of like a research and development for us, like single batches of like, they were all IPAs, but they changed like the malt and the hops and stuff like that. So it's like RDX1, RDX2, RDX3, the whole way. I think we made it to like RDX9 until we finally found a beer that we love with it. And we actually still have that one on tap. It transitioned into Medulla Oblongata, which is an IPA that actually came out of that R&D series that we kept.
Okay, sweet. And that was just mainly like, I would assume like the same base and then switching off into different like dry hopping stuff. Yeah,
like we started around switching to base until we found out what base we loved. And then we started playing with the hops and water and stuff like that as well.
Okay, so. And you said that that was like the first one that you got to design?
Yeah, R&D 5 would have been the fifth of the series, would have been the first one I did a solo brew on.
Okay. And you said that you all have, I assume Abe's is ABS, like that brewing system?
Oh, yeah, we have Abe, ABE. Yeah.
Oh, ABE. Okay, I just thought that was like a nickname.
Nope.
And you said it's pretty... like that, like learning that system was the most difficult thing, right?
Oh, it's a pretty, like coming in from non-really brewing to learn that system took some time, but now I can pretty much do it all with my eyes closed. And we got another location in Altoona that we have another 5 barrel Abe system. That's like, it's probably 2 years old at this point. And it's like, it's funny, like night and day, the new technology on that system compared to what we have now is a lot different. So that was another learning aspect, is getting trained on that new system that we have down there.
Yeah, I think I agree with that a lot. Like I've been to a few different breweries and like seen what kind of stuff like they use as far as like brewing, because a lot
Yeah.
of them are like, right in front of you in that tap room. And I'm like, if I had even attempted this, I wouldn't be able to, just because of like having that, like not having that experience with that system.
That's how it was when we went out to Zero Day for the collab. Like, it's like I saw that equipment. I'm like, oh, it's really nice, but I don't know how any of this works.
Yeah. And it's not just cut and dry. Like it pretty much does the same thing. Like
Yeah.
that is not the case at
Nope.
all. Sweet. As far as like your brewing experience, like what is, like you said you've been doing this for like 5 years, and like having that experience, like how does that affect like what beer you drink, or like how you, I don't know, like the differences between that? Because even in the last like 3 years for me, like I haven't been brewing 3 years, but I've been like in the beer
Yeah.
that long. It's huge differences.
Yeah, I find myself more picky with what I drink. And there's like certain ones I go after, and I still change with the seasons, like the weather. Like I'll still go to like IPAs in the summer and stuff like that. But when it like starts to get cool out, I'm all for the stouts and browns and everything like that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite types of beer. Like I'll drink beer year round. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe it won't be good for me to do that, but like I still will.
Still tastes good.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how warm it is outside if a beer tastes good.
Yep.
As far as like your experience with that, like what's one of the things that like, what's a positive thing that you're seeing like beer trend into right now?
I'm seeing a lot more variety when I go to places. It's not just a couple. Like there's some places that that used to do just IPAs, and now I'm seeing them change up to add some more varieties into their portfolio. And I like that. I like going into a place and having the different options between, if I don't want an IPA, they have lagers, or like I said, they have browns, ambers, or stouts. I've been seeing that more often when I'm out and about, is the variety of different beers in the tap rooms.
Yeah. Like how many? I assume you're at the one in Indiana, right?
Yeah. Yep. I'm brewing right now actually today. So I'm actually up here in Indiana right now.
Okay, sweet. How many different beers do you all keep on tap there?
It ranges between 15 and 20. Right now we have 17 on tap right now.
Okay. And it ranges in style too,
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. We have the Kolsch. We have a sour Kolsch IPAs, lager, um, amber ale, cream ales, stout. So we try to make it where we have all the different options for everybody. There's some that like we don't prefer to drink ourselves, but we try to make it just so we have options for everybody that comes in the door.
Oh, that's very awesome. And with what's one of your favorite ones on tap right now?
My favorite one is actually going to be, I've been digging our Play This Song. It's actually a new hazy that we came out with in January, and it's actually a team branded Altoona Curve beer. So
Okay.
it's part of we have two beers that go to the Curve, and they're team branded beers, and that's one of them. And it's just, it's one of my favorite hazies we've ever done.
Sweet. And I would assume like that would mean that that's one of your favorites to brew also, or is that different from that?
So I like brewing it, but it's at the same point, like this thing with the Curve is a lot bigger than like anybody thought, which is fantastic. But I find myself brewing this beer every single week to keep up. So it just, at some point it gets a little tedious of doing the same beer all the time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get that.
But it's still great. I'm not complaining about it, but it's like we have enough tanks. We have like 7 fermenters, so we have enough to do other stuff and throw other stuff in the mix as well. So
yeah, those beers that everybody likes, like that is it does get a little tedious. Like I haven't been brewing that long, and I can't tell you how many times I've been a part of brewing mango hob here at 0 Day. So
Just one of
like
those, yeah, it just flies off the shelf and you're like, oh, we're doing this again.
yeah, but like it's fun. People like
Yeah.
it, so that's the important part.
That's the thing. It's selling, so keep making it.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever you first got into brewing, what were you like? What were you excited about? Was it the learning, the system? Did you just love beer and you wanted to see that like
I
to
like
the end? Or
I like beer, and I just wanted to learn how to make it, and I wanted to try to make good beer. And yeah, like anybody else, I did a couple homebrew stuff too to try to get situated. And like most people who do homebrew stuff, the first few batches are not that good, and then you just live and learn on this system. There's some trial and error, but after a while, you pretty much get used to what you want in your recipe and stuff like that, so you can nail down flavors pretty easy.
yeah. It is very. I guess there's no other way almost to get into like commercial brewing if you haven't homebrewed. But
Yeah,
again, I'm glad to hear that everyone that I've asked about that is very honest when they say that like, oh, the first few batches weren't drinkable or weren't good
yep,
because
yeah.
yeah, whatever.
I've
You
had
got it.
some. We have a homebrew club that comes in here on Thursdays, and yeah, you get some from them that are fantastic, and you get some others just like that. When you use the homebrew, it's like, this homebrew. You can tell it's homebrew.
Mhm. So, do you know what was the first thing that you tried to make? I assume like a IPA or ale.
I actually think the first thing was the wife and I tried to do. I think it was a brown ale. Actually,
Right.
I think the first one at home was a brown ale.
And I was Northern Brewing one of the. Was that still a thing? Like 5, 6 years ago?
Mm, there we go. I thought we lost him a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, was Northern Brewing like the kit that you had gotten, or was that many other ones at that point?
I think it was. So there used to be like a little homebrew shop down in Clymer by us, like probably 15 minutes from us. Can't exactly remember what the kit. No, probably have had one of those kits, but I can't. I just went into the shop. I feel like it was more beer. I think it was a more beer kit they had or something like that.
Okay. Well, I guess I mean I assume there had to be like a lot more now. Whenever I did it, it was probably I would say almost 10 years ago now.
Mhm.
There just wasn't a lot of like homebrew shops or anything like that near me, so we all just went online and found what we could.
Yep, and now they have those systems that I keep hearing people talk about. I've seen it work already, like the all-in-one systems, like the I guess I don't know who makes S. No, it's not SS Protect, but it's one of the systems that like you mash in and you can like pull the whole thing out, and then the boil's right underneath of it. So it's like an all-in-one big system for the home brewers. So
That
it makes a pretty small footprint for them and everything.
yeah, that makes it pretty easy as far as like a cleanup or like the mess
Yeah,
that
you
you
just
can
pull
prevent.
out the tub and there you just throw the spent grain away.
Sweet. And we've been talking about you this whole time. When did do you know like when Levity became a brewery? Do you have any of that?
Yeah, so they started in their garage and 20 it was like 2014 or 2014ish or maybe even 13. And then 2015 they started working on the build out, and then 2016 January they opened up this location.
Okay.
And we've been just chugging along here in the same building since.
Sweet. Is there any? And I assume that the owners of Levity they were brewers too.
Yes, yeah, they all three were in the garage days, and now they kind of took on their own little aspects of the business now. So they're all like some like counting side and management upper management side now. So
Yeah.
they kind of oversee the operations down down in the tap room and everything.
Do they ever get to come back in and brew with you guys?
One of them, Luke, has took he wanted to actually he never brewed on this system since we opened here, and he kind of wanted to learn to brew again because it's been since the garage days for him. So we actually him and I worked together on getting him trained up in our Altoona system. So he actually has been really a big help for me down there because I don't get time to travel down there as much as I'd like to brew because I'm just up here brewing 3 or 4 days a week now. So he's been helped down there. Like we've been using that system for seltzers and different like one-off beers, and I think we're actually going to try to use some kombucha in it here soon.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like to make your own or use that?
Yeah, make our own. He makes it up. He's actually been making it up here for a few months in like small 5-gallon SS Brewtech stuff, but we think we're going to try to scale it up to a 5-barrel batch.
Sweet, man. That would be sick. I haven't seen a lot of places make their own kombucha at all, but I have had. I was out of town this previous weekend, and I had hop water for the first time.
I had it at that brew fest in State College. That was interesting. The hop water.
Yeah, and like I don't know if that's closer to a seltzer as far as like making it, or if like I don't even know where to begin with that. So
we thought about looking into it because like. A lot of people have been requesting more NA beers, and as much as I don't think I want to do an NA beer, I'm wondering if hop waters will please those people that want the NAs.
And do you know of anyone, if you said that you had it at State College, what's that process? Because like I said, I have no clue.
I don't really know because I wonder if you're just bringing water maybe to a boil and throwing a little bit of hops in at that point and then carboning it up. I'm not exactly sure. The one that I had up in State College was actually from Cinderlands in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So I know they have it.
Yeah, man. They may be the only ones. Well, I can't say that. I haven't been everywhere in the state.
Yes.
Yeah, you said they are?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, they have to be one of the only few doing it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I don't see many other ones doing
it. It was good. I don't have anything negative to say about it at all. It was fantastic. But with working for Levity, like how it's being a brewery in Indiana, Pennsylvania? Like, did you grow up there? Did you go to IUP? Like.
I did go to IUP, but I didn't grow up here. We grew up out in York County, actually. I grew up in the little town of Spring Grove out there, and then came out here in 2013 for school and just never left.
Sweet.
Yeah.
The first time that I came into Levity, I was visiting friends that were at
IUP. Yeah, that's what everybody's like. We're like, yeah, we're in Indiana. They're like, oh, you're at IUP. We're like, yeah.
No, it's a sick place, man.
Yeah. It's funny, like we're about an hour and 15 minutes from Pittsburgh, but it's like far enough where people from Pittsburgh don't always want to, like, they don't necessarily want to drive up here a lot because it's far enough for them. But we'll get a little traffic from Pittsburgh, but it's like, oh, you guys are too far for us.
Yeah. That place is sick, and it's worth it, man.
Thank you.
Do they have like a brewing program, or do you see a lot of people or a lot of kids come in like asking about brewing?
Actually, we don't have any brewing program stuff. Haven't had many people ask about brew stuff. Currently, we're looking to hire a few people with some like different aspects of the company, and one of them is actually within the short term here to get me some help would be to hire a new cellarman, assistant brewer, and stuff like that. So we're in the process of looking that stuff up, looking for the right person right now. Really, I don't know. This area is not much interest in yet, but we'll see.
I would assume that people would flood to that because if I'm not mistaken, you all are the only brewery in that area, right?
There's one right down the road from us. I think they're a year younger than us, Noblestein. They have a little smaller system, but they still they're closer to IUP and stuff. But they have a lot smaller tap room and stuff than us, but they still make really good beer.
Well, before I let you go, man, just with brewing there, and I assume that like you're around like Levity itself all the time. Like, whenever people come in there to like grab a drink, man, like what do you want people to feel whenever they come in there and have your beer?
What do I want them to drink? You mean?
Or like just like the experience that
Oh,
you
I
all
want
push
them.
for?
I want them to be truthful and like because a lot of people know who I am around here, so it's like, yeah, sometimes I feel like they aren't telling me exactly if they feel like there's something wrong, but if there is anything wrong, I want them to be truthful with it, and I just want them to have fun and drink and have fun. That's all. Kind of open this place open kind of levity like it's like serious beer for the light at heart. So we just want people to come in here and enjoy their time and just to get a little break from reality.
Yeah.
And
Sweet, man. Well, thanks for doing this, man. Thanks for hopping on this. I'm sure I'll see you around at a plethora of other beer festivals, if not back in IUP. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening to the podcast, watching the podcast. Look out for new episodes every other Thursday. And cheers. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.